so excited to be talking about this show, Queer Love Ultimatum. I just kind of want to share my thoughts and perspectives on what has happened in this dramatic show that I just finished watching. Let me move this back a little bit. I don't know what I was expecting from this show, but I definitely got what I wanted and more. Like, entertainment. This is entertaining. I love this show so much. Okay, so I think I will just break it down by couples and who were, who's together. So, the first episode we kind of get to know everybody, and we see them, we kind of figure out why they even came on the show in the first place. You have the people giving the ultimatum and people receiving the ultimatum, pretty much. And then you see them kind of mix and mingle and get to know everybody. First, I will talk about Lexi and Raylan, or Ray. These two, I can see kind of right away one person was super, more confident. She was saying how she was the one to take care of more important things in their relationships, be on top of things like doctor's appointments, really putting forth the actual effort to make things happen and make things go, while Ray, on the other hand, she seemed a little lost, not as confident. I got that kind of right away from her. They just didn't seem like they matched on the same level energetically. So that's what I picked up. Also, by the way, watching this show, it really became clear to me attachment styles. And wow, because it's something that I'm kind of learning right now myself, attachment styles, things like this, and I just saw it so clearly on the show. I was like, oh, that person's avoidant, that person's anxious, that person's secure. Okay, so that's Lexi and Ray. Then you have Vanessa and Xander. Right away, I feel in the first and second episode, you can tell that Xander was way more into the commitment of the relationship and the longevity of the relationship, rather, more than Vanessa. That was very apparent. It seemed like Xander, if I were to give kind of a visual here, it seemed like somebody trying to hold onto a kite or like a balloon, flying off in the air. Xander seemed more grounded and more focused on what she wanted for her family, what she wanted for her future, and Vanessa just seemed like, I don't really want to have responsibilities. I don't really see myself being with someone long term. What's the point of that? And just kind of free spirit, wanting to have different experiences with different people, and not really on the same page as far as marriage and kids are concerned. She's just more free spirited, I guess. And then we have Mal and Yoli. This couple I actually had hope for. It just seemed like Mal was not sure if Yoli really was committed as far as her love for her. One of the things that she said was that Yoli loves everybody. All of her past relationships, she was so in love with everybody, and now she's so in love with me. But what makes me special, what makes me different, which is a valid question. You want to know that the person that you are going to marry is going to choose you today and choose you tomorrow, no matter who comes along. I don't care who's in front of you. It's just confidence you want to have. I have a really good friend back home, by the way, who's married, and the confidence that she has in her marriage, I don't care if you have a supermodel in front of him, he will always choose me. That kind of confidence is what you need. Would be nice when you're considering marrying someone, and Val just did not have that with Yoli. For Yoli, I feel like she was saying that Mal thinks too much, she wants to start a family, have kids, buy a home, do different things, and Mal is more so focused on, am I financially prepared for this, so they had valid points, and I actually had hope for them, because those are things that could possibly be worked Xander was like, this is gonna be healthy for our relationship. I want to see, you know, what this will do for our relationship. I really want to take it seriously, you know, so it didn't really seem equal. And at the table when they were discussing, you know, their experience and who they were going to choose, we see that there's a moment when Xander talks about her past and saying that she was going to choose Ray because Ray reminded her of someone that she dated from Bumble in the past before. And then it's like something happened, and Vanessa, she kind of seemed a little passive aggressive, more so on the aggressive side. It made everybody uncomfortable, saying, oh, who's this person? I didn't know this person. I thought I knew everything about your exes or your love life before me. She just seemed very rude towards Xander, kind of like, this, I don't know, she just seemed very off. And there was a point where she even looked at her and said, F off 2 times, and it just seemed, wow, Xander's only saying her experience, let the girl finish. And it just, right then and there I saw, this is not a healthy relationship at all. And Vanessa was saying something about the fact how Xander thinks that she's the most beautiful girl in the world, and that she would never want to be with anybody else besides her. It just seems so selfish. Meanwhile, she's out there looking at all these other people and talking about hooking up and, you know, not really there for the right reasons, I think. And so, it seemed like a breath of fresh air for her to be able to connect with somebody. It seemed like, oh, somebody finally sees me, someone's finally showing up for me, and it's happening so quickly. Which, I would say is typical for this kind of anxious, avoidant arrangement. Where at first it seems like that person is showing up for you, that person's there, and then later on you see they're actually not available, really, you know. And Mildred can come up as needy or expecting too much, or if I'm explaining this correctly, I hope. So, we see a part where where Aussie is ironing a shirt, and Mildred is in the bathroom getting ready. She's asking her, hey, so do you need the bathroom? Let me know, but you need the bathroom. And Aussie's like, it's fine, I'm just gonna iron this and I'll need it after. But you know, and then Mildred says, oh, I love this communication. We should, like, why haven't we done this the entire time, or something about the communication. And Aussie says, well, we communicated like this before. You're acting different now with the cameras. You didn't act like this when the cameras are here. Now the cameras are here and you're talking like this. What's, you know, going on? And Mildred's saying, well, tell me, how am I acting? How am I acting? And then you can see the conversation getting more and more aggressive. And it's making Aussie only pull away more. And I did notice that Aussie was avoidant, like I said, but I thought that it was probably mostly with Mildred, because Mildred was not a safe person for Aussie. Just was not a safe person. And vice versa, I don't think that Aussie was a safe person for Mildred, because Aussie demonstrated that she was not able to engage in conflict resolution or conversations that get you from point A to point B or point C, you know. She just didn't want to have any conversations that that had any bit of confrontation in it, needing to solve a problem, needing to get past something. She just didn't want to deal with it. She couldn't have the conversation. So I think that triggered Mildred and her abandonment wound. And you saw there was a scene when Mildred decided to leave the apartment when Aussie decided to leave the apartment when Mildred was not there, and Mildred comes back to the apartment and sees the note that Aussie left. And at first she's saying, I don't care, it's fine, leave, just take out the trash, have some consideration when you go. And then you see her break down, I think, when the reality hits her, and she's saying, I'm being left again. I always feel so lonely, I always feel so alone. You could see she just wanted someone to be there for her. And I can empathize with that. Therapy would be really great, because when Mildred went back with Tiff, it seemed like their same relationship dynamics were playing out, which was a perfect example of what happens in the real world, where you leave one relationship and you think the problem is just with that person, and then you go into another relationship and you're facing the same exact problems. You're hitting up against the same wall because you're not healed in yourself, you know. You're just attracting the same vibration of a relationship, pretty much. So I see Aussie go back to Sam, and Sam is completely different from Mildred. Sam is a safe place, I believe, for Aussie. And it's interesting because I thought that maybe Sam would not be as avoidant with Sam, but it showed that she clearly was. And I remember that they were having a conversation and she brought up Mildred's name, and it just sent Aussie in a spiral, like in a spiral. She just wasn't even present anymore to hear Sam's point of view or was just like I was just trying to say how I felt about something. One thing that I was really proud of Sam for was when she said, I'm realizing my value and I deserve more than this. You know, you can tell that she wanted a partner that was able to have conversations with her, that wasn't just gonna leave her and run away, and that she didn't have to coddle and take care of. Meanwhile, who's taking care of her, you know? There were different scenes where she would just be saying, it's okay, Aussie, it's okay, or do you want this, Aussie, or it's okay, Aussie, we don't have to talk about that. It's always her taking care of Aussie like a child in a way. Tiptoeing around, walking on eggshells. Do I say this? Do I not say that? And that can cause anxiety in a person. And then Aussie is just displaying, it's just kind of selfish in a way. Everything's about Aussie and not pissing off Aussie or saying the wrong thing to Aussie. Meanwhile, where is Sam in the relationship? What attention is Sam getting? But in this kind of a dynamic, it seemed like Sam was a more secure attachment, and you know, Aussie obviously is avoidant. It seemed that Sam has a natural energy about her, similar to a therapist in a way, a very nurturing, caring person. But she even said that, or maybe this is enabling Sam's behavior, it's just enabling it, so it's time for her to stand up for herself and say when things don't feel fair, don't feel right for her as well. No matter how Aussie reacts, that can get really exhausting, you know. I think Aussie just needs a lot of therapy and healing before she can marry someone. When Tiff and Sam were living together, we saw an argument over the dog, and at first I was thinking maybe this is not really about the dog, maybe it's something deeper, maybe this is just a way for Tiff to put up some kind of a wall or a barrier with Sam because she just doesn't feel safe or fully committed to the experience, because before they lived together, she was saying how she chose Mildred, she just wanted to stay with her partner, so that maybe this is just a way for her to put up a wall, a boundary or something. And I think she got upset with Sam because Sam wasn't comfortable with the dog laying in the bed with them, which is very understandable. You're just getting to know a person, you're just moving in with them, you're on an experiment, and then you have to have their dog laying in the bed with you. Not everybody is comfortable with that. Not everybody is a super dog lover where they would be okay with that, and that's fine. I would not be okay with that. Like, the dog can sleep in its bed by the bed or something, you know. And Tiff and Sam always seems to be very calm, level-headed, and emotionally regulated, even though we see her crying and have her emotional time away from the person, which is very healthy, which is, you know, to deal with your emotions yourself and not take it so personal and lash out at the person, because it doesn't help anything. But Tiff, seeing her yelling at Sam and saying, you have to love my dog too, you're not a very you're not an animal person, I don't know, something like this. It just seemed that Sam never deserved what she was getting. I feel in general Sam always got the smaller end of the stick, and I think it's because she is such a nurturing, caring person that sometimes it's hard to say, you know what, I can actually do better than this, and I don't have to be attracted to this kind of behavior where someone's yelling at me or unable to have a conversation with me, do conflict resolution with me. That's someone that you can have empathy for, but not narcissistic behavior. So when she was being disrespectful and cutting off Tiffany, not letting her speak, which is something that Tiffany said over and over again, let me speak, let me speak, let me speak, Mildred is blaming her rude behavior on the fact that she is Latina. And she's saying, well, I'm Latina, I can act like this, you can't, basically. And Tiffany's, it doesn't matter what you are, you're just a rude person, you don't blame that on your ethnicity. Always some excuse, an excuse to act how she's acting, and it seemed like she really believed it. And that's the point that really changed my view of Mildred, I think, because I think there's a point when you realize that you're not a healthy person, and then you do work to grow out of that, or at least to take accountability, responsibility at some point, or you're just committed to being unhealed, you're committed to being on your side, and that nobody's ever loving me, nobody's ever with me, so I'm gonna attack everybody, and I am justified in behaving this way. That's when it's not okay. And I feel for Tiff. She was aware of her toxic behavior, but she was willing to take accountability and to do the work to grow out of that, whereas Mildred just didn't show those same qualities. Now moving on more towards the middle, towards the end of the series, it did upset me a bit. Xander and Yoli and Mal and Vanessa, that whole situation, because Mal was always very clear. The thing I don't like is playing in someone's face, but when they give you the opportunity to be honest and you're not honest, and it's just going to result in pain for that person that's asking for honesty and giving you the floor to be honest, and you're choosing not to be, that's when I feel like I lose respect for a person. If someone's coming to you and saying, do you love this person? Do you choose this person? Be honest and say, yes, I love them, and I cannot choose you, and I don't know, or I choose them. Yes, be honest, because you know what you're feeling and you know what you're doing behind the scenes. When they were at the bar and all the couples came back together, everybody went back to their respective, couples that they came in with, and you see Yoli and Xander going off together, holding hands, saying, I miss you, I love you, and then you see Xander and they're talking to everybody, Vanessa talking to everybody, and then Mal talking to everybody, and Mal came out to Yoli and she's like, hey, can I join the conversation, and Yoli's like, oh no, we're just having a private conversation, can you please just give me a moment? And Mal is so good, she's so good, and she says, okay, do you need me to trust you right now? Oh my gosh. And Yoli's like, yes, I just need you to trust me. And it's just like, you're just playing in her face, like she does not deserve this. And you're telling Xander, well, I would choose you, but unfortunately, it seemed like, well, unfortunately, Mal is actually doing really good, so I guess my mind says I have to go with Mal, but my heart is with you, and you're holding hands and all this type of stuff. And then it's just not fair to Mal. I don't necessarily feel bad for Vanessa, because there was a point when they did move back in together, and Vanessa was sitting with her dad and with Xander, and I completely agree with the dad, because I thought this at first. Vanessa was acting incredibly desperate towards Xander when she felt that Xander was pulling away. Xander was not really into the relationship anymore, and she knew in her heart that this is it. Vanessa was saying, I love you, tell me you love me, tell me you love me, say it, Xander. And, just really desperate, not really giving Xander any space, really clingy, I felt needy, because she felt her moving away. Although I think she clearly took advantage, because Vanessa talked about her ex-boyfriend and, Xander, they give me so much love, they give me so much love. And then somebody asked, or, asked her, what do you give them? And Vanessa said, I actually don't know what I give it seemed like a competition almost. And the dad said that he believes in 7-year marriages. After 7 years, reevaluate and move on to the next person if you're not happy. I don't think you should be with somebody for your lifetime. I believe in a 7-year evaluation and then moving on. And he gave his own story about how he thought that he wanted somebody back, but then realized he actually didn't. So I feel like Vanessa gets her relationship behaviors, patterns from her dad with that non-commitment type of a thing. And I think her pride only got in the way, which is why she wanted Xander back. I don't think she really wanted the same things as Xander, because she was saying, I do want marriage, I do want kids, I'm ready now, I see it, now that you're leaving me for another woman, I can see my future with you. And it's not true. It's not true at all, you know. I think even if Xander chose Vanessa, I think that they would have broken up shortly after anyway, because Vanessa would have just gone back to herself, wanting to be free and, you know, see other people and not really want kids right now. Maybe in 5 years, we'll see. And now Vanessa said, in 5 years, maybe I just have to hook up with somebody else and then come back to my relationship. What? Okay, clearly just are not on the same page. So yeah, anyways, back to the bar. Mel basically calls Yoli over and Xander over. Vanessa, everybody's around in a circle, and Mel is just like, what's, you know, going on between you two? I respect your connection, whatever, but do you choose Yoli the same way that I choose Yoli? I have been with her for X amount of years. I choose her at her lowest. I choose her when she has something to offer me. I choose her no matter what. Do you choose Yoli like I choose Yoli? And then Xander says, no, I don't, because I don't have the history. I don't have the same. And, you know, Mal is like, okay, there you go. And which was a valid point, because you have to keep in mind these people have only dated each other for 3 weeks. And I feel that Yoli proved Mal correct when Mal in the beginning was saying, I don't know why you love me, or if you love me truly because you love everybody. What's different about me? Yoli proved Mal right, because now she's saying, I love Xander, I don't know if I really see myself with Mal. I don't think I'm getting what I need from Mal. It's just flip-floppy in the wind, flip-floppy in the wind. And she not only lied, but she omitted the truth, which I cannot respect. Omitting the truth, come on. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, maybe it's not, you know, clear-cut for you and whatever, but the interactions between Xander and Yoli, when Xander's like, let's do this right now, I can get married to you after this, and Vanessa's going to Xander saying, do you choose her? Do you love her? And even Xander was saying, I don't know, I just need time to think, I don't know. Yes, you do know. Yes, you do know. Yeah, you do. It's just frustrating me that they weren't honest to these two people that are just sitting there waiting for them. Again, I didn't really feel that sorry for Vanessa, but for Mal, yes. It really hurt her ego, and I love how through it all, Mal stood there for Yoli throughout this, saying, this hurts my ego, it hurts me right now, but I respect what you have between you and Xander, and it's nice to see, you know, how you feel with that person, and I respect that. Like, she wasn't bitter at all towards Xander. She was so emotionally mature through it, even though her ego was hurting her so badly. Not everybody has the emotional maturity at least know yourself, to be able to give yourself to someone else in that way, you know. It seemed like Lexi knew who she was and knew what she wanted, knew how she felt, and Ray just didn't display that. Just, again, not a balance. So in the end, when we see if they're gonna get engaged, pretty much everybody got engaged except for Xander and Vanessa. That was just not going to happen. And that I totally agree with. I was surprised that Tiff and Mildred got engaged. Not gonna work. Aussie and Sam, again, I was surprised that Sam said yes to Aussie because she never really displayed, well, I guess she didn't have time. But if you marry someone, you don't want to always have to have dinner alone. If one little thing they can't handle and they run off crying somewhere, you want to be able to have conflict resolution, productive conversations. So that kind of surprised me that Sam said yes. Also, that little trick with the rock. What was the point? I don't know. Wasn't really a fan of that. Seemed a little corny. And Mal and Yoli, I loved Mal's proposal to Yoli, but Yoli was saying, "Oh, what took you so long? What took you so long?" You know, like she was so happy to be engaged, and then she runs off to Xander, saying, I want to be with you. In my heart, it's you, but in my head, it's her. It's just, girl, get yourself together. And then it's just a slap in the face to Mal for me, honestly. I just didn't like it at all. And then Vanessa, and then Ray and Lexi, they got engaged. I didn't feel that it was right. It just didn't seem that Ray was ready for marriage, to be honest. But she just did it anyway. And then we got to the reunion. Everybody's broken up, but Sam and Aussie, again, which I was surprised about. I don't know that they had a wedding date set. I'm not sure, but I'm wondering, has Aussie gone to therapy? Have there been actual changes, or is Sam settling and just feeling a need to be there for someone, to support someone to their healing, rather than an equal partnership, an equal relationship? So I would be interested to see how the dynamic is going, but good for them if they're happy, you know. I'm actually happy to know that Mal left Yoli. They were on vacation together, and I think she left the vacation and broke up with Yoli. interesting, like, why Mildred would want to marry Tiffany anyway if she felt that she couldn't either be equally financially or financially provide for their family, for their future family in the future. It just seemed all chaotic. And so Tiffany has been in therapy after her relationship with Mildred. Thank God they are done and ended. Even the way Mildred was talking to Tiffany, it just, during the reunion, it just was dark energy. It just wasn't good, and I just hope for healing in Mildred, because she can be such a beautiful person on the inside. I'm sure, like, when you heal, I feel you glow, and you don't have that heaviness of trauma or whatever her problems are on her. So I do have hope for her healing in the future. But if she just continues in that way, her relationships will always be bad, unfortunately. But I do think that Tiffany has hope. It was a little bit strange how Tiffany would invite different people over their house and things like this, that I feel, I don't know how people do that. That's, even if you break up and you live in the same house, it's still a weird concept to bring your dates over to your house. It just seems a little not respectful to the other person living there and their feelings, you know. Just move out and do whatever you want to do. But it seems like Tiffany has been in a lot of therapy, and I don't think that she's a perfect partner either. I think she has a lot of healing work to do as well. But yeah, Mildred was definitely very horrible to Tiffany and didn't help the situation at all. And the next we saw Lexi and Ray. They separated, which didn't surprise me, because I think so at the reunion they were together for a year, saying how happy they were and how good they felt, but it didn't seem like there were any concrete plans on an actual wedding date. It just didn't seem, concrete plans. And it was shown that shortly after that reunion they did end up breaking up. Lexi has moved on and is in another relationship. And Xander, we saw that Vanessa still saw messages between Xander and Yoli about how when Yoli and Mal were together, that Yoli was secretly planning to get away with Xander to Hawaii. It just seems all kinds of disrespectful, I think, towards Mal. And yeah, Yoli, she said that she doesn't know if she's going to be a mom in the way that she envisioned, because when she envisioned her life with Mal, they would have kids and a family and a home, and now she doesn't really see that so much for herself, and now she's kind of re-envisioning what her future looks like. You know, maybe it's adoption or just her animals, things like that. That was kind of sad, because I don't think that your future should be based on just, like, you know, one person. You know, there's still hope if she wants that family dynamic or not. You know, she'll see how the cards unfold for her, but it's nice that she is open to not just one way of living as well. Xander, it's interesting because I see that she is in Hawaii now, because I looked up everybody on Instagram, like, what are they doing? And Xander seems to be on her own journey of self-discovery and just taking care of herself and choosing herself. And I like that she said choose yourself, because there was a point during the show when Vanessa said, I don't know why Xander didn't choose me. I don't know why. She wanted me to be ready for her family and for kids and things like this, and here I am, I'm saying it. And then it brought me back to the point in the beginning where Vanessa was so disrespectful, so loose, so like, whatever, you know, you just know in your heart if somebody's for you or not. So, Xander even said in the reunion that if you look back at the first 2 episodes, you can see I didn't really show that I loved myself very much in that relationship. So it's good to see her walk bravely on her own and, you know, being single and doing whatever she's doing. But what did surprise me is, and again, back to Mal's point, is that as they were both single, they actually saw each other at Coachella. I'm talking about Yoli and Xander. They saw each other at Coachella. They hung out a little bit after that. And the thing is, okay, so you guys were so in love, right? Like, like you love, love, love this other person, like Mel predicted, and you see them again, and what? It's nothing again. And Xander said, well, I think it was a moment that we shared in the experiment, but then when you come out of it, it's different. So I guess it didn't share that same connection in real life. But my thing is, if you were so in love with Xander, like you said that you were, and you were literally questioning your marriage, your future with this person that you were with for the past 3 years that was showing up for you, and because you're with someone for 3 weeks and you feel like you love them so much, why didn't you explore a relationship with that person? What happened? So you left this stable relationship that could have been your future for this feeling of love for 3 weeks, and it actually turned out to be for nothing. And Xander said that they didn't have a relationship with each other because this seemed to be a moment in the experience, and when they met each other outside in real life, it just was different. And that was wow, you did all that, Yoli, you know. But that's her journey, that's her experience,